What's up, guys? Thought I would do a little video for you this evening. So I wanted to talk about something, and this is something that I really wanted to get off my chest. I have to say, I really get a good, impression of why, or a good picture of why, family vloggers are so hated, I guess, at this time of the year. I mean, it's not just about his being forced to perform for the cameras on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day or whatever. I mean, yeah, that is that is pretty sad. That kids are being forced to perform for the cameras on Christmas Day, and it's a big part of what makes family vlogging so wrong. But it's more, but there's a different reason for it. There's another reason why these family vloggers are so hated at, this time of year. And it's the bragging and the showing off. I mean, if you look at the amount of stuff that Sarah has brought for the kids, I mean, the amount of stuff she has brought for the kids is, completely and utterly obscene. Like, there's just no need for her to go out and buy the amount of stuff that she buys. Like, I get, obviously they have the money to do that, it's fair enough, but, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just absolutely ridiculous, really just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the problem with it is, she's gone out and brought all these Christmas presents and all that for the kids, but half of them aren't even gonna get used or played with or whatever, because the kids are not gonna have a proper chance to do that because they're gonna be away so often. So what's the point in her going out and buying so much stuff that's not even gonna get played with half the time? And it's the same thing all the time. It's always that question of why go out and buy so much stuff that isn't even gonna be played with. It's one of those things that doesn't particularly make any sense. It's why they go out and buy so much stuff, when half of it isn't even going to get played with. This is the thing, she's gone out and bought all these toys and all that, but the kids are not going to get, not going to get much of a chance to really play with them, because they're going to be away so often throughout the year. It's just one of those, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, hard to tell, a lot of these family vloggers, like, most of them are not even trying to hide the fact that they're trying to brag and show off. You can tell that's exactly what they're trying to do most of the time. And, people just can't stand that. And it's like, they'll try and say, oh, we're not trying to brag and show off, but that's exactly what they're trying to do, and they're not even trying to hide that. As I said, they'll deny it and say, oh, we're not trying to brag and show off, we're not trying to rub it in people's faces. But that is what it feels like. It feels like they are always trying to brag and show off, and they're always trying to rub it in people's faces about what they can afford to buy their kids. And it's ridiculous, and people are getting sick and tired of it. People are getting sick and tired of these family vloggers rubbing it in people's faces about what they can afford to buy for their kids. There's no excuses for that. There's no justifications for the fact that they feel the need to constantly brag and show off about, and rub it in people's faces about what they can afford to buy their kids. If I had the money they had, yeah, I'd love to have the money they had. There's no denying that. But even if I did have the money that they had, I wouldn't brag and show off about it. I wouldn't rub it in people's faces about what I could afford to buy my kids, which is what people like this and Sarah and them always do. And obviously it's not just them that do it, and obviously this is a video kind of aiming at all. This is being aimed at all family vloggers and not just them in particular. I'm not just singling them out for this because it's something that a lot of them do. It's something that a lot of them, get backlash for. It's not hard to see why, family vloggers get so much backlash at this time of year, because of the way, when you're seeing the way that they're bragging and showing off, they are going to get a lot of backlash. they are going to get a lot of negative comments on their vlogs because people will see that, will see what they're trying to do and see what they're doing is them trying to brag and show off, because it feels like that sometimes. I mean, yeah, maybe, it's like, so, the one thing I can say about Sarah Winham is she is by far the biggest bragger I have ever seen on the internet. I don't think I have ever seen anyone who brags as much as she does. It's like she's bragging about something every single day. It's like the problem with people like this and Sarah Winham is they're not happy unless they have something to brag about. That's what it is. That's what the problem is with people like them, is they're not happy unless they have something to brag about. And it's ridiculous. And it's even, and the sad thing is, it's even worse at this time of year. The bragging and showing off is way worse than what it would normally be. Because most other times of the year, I mean, yeah, they're still bragging and showing off a bit, but they're not doing it as bad as they do it at this time of year. People don't, people are struggling enough, and I know that's not their fault. No one is blaming them for the fact that people are struggling, or the fact that people are in a shit situation financially or whatever and can't afford to go out and buy all these things and all, whatnot. No one's blaming any of these family vloggers for that. No one's saying that it's their fault or that they've caused it. But people, all people are saying it's a hard enough year. It's hard. This time of year is hard enough for some people. They don't need to see these family vloggers bragging and showing off and rubbing it in people's faces about what they can afford to buy for their kids. No one needs to see that. No one wants to see that. It's just, all this, at the end of the day, Christmas for family vloggers is about pure greed. That's all it is. It's not about anything else. It's about pure bloody greed. And I stand by that every day of the week, because it's true. It's absolutely 110% true. And I don't claim to know, what I'm talking about here, but, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, to say the least. I have no idea what to say. I wish I did know what I was supposed to say on this, but, it is absolutely ridiculous with them. It really is. There's no excuse in, what they do or how they do something. There's no justification for that. Whatever justification, there is no justification for what they do. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous that they feel the need to brag and show off the way they do, constantly, and this is the problem, is they are bragging and showing off constantly. They are, trying to rub it in people's faces, and it's wrong. What they're doing, it's wrong. The fact that they're bragging and showing off the way they are. There's no excuses for that. There's no justifications for that. Let's just mute my TV for a second. I mean, it's just wrong. There's, as I said, with the Inhams, it doesn't make sense considering they've gone out and brought all this stuff that, when you think about it, it's not even hardly done to use, or it's not hardly even done, all these toys and that, not hardly even done to be played with, because they're going to be away most of the time. And this is the point that people are trying to make, is it doesn't make sense them going, there's no sense in going out and buying these kids all these toys when when the kids are not even going to get a proper opportunity to play with them. This happens as I said, this happens all the time. They go out and buy the kids all these toys, and the kids never really get, a proper opportunity to actually play with them. They never get an opportunity to, they never get a proper opportunity to play with those toys. So what's the point in going out and buying them all these toys that are not even going to be played with? It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not going to apologise for saying that I don't agree with what they do and that I don't agree with the way they brag and show off. That's what they're doing at this time of year. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for it once soon. Have another one soon. Bye bye.